Meanwhile, my next guest made headlines this week for his fiery criticism of Democrats' tactics during the Kavanaugh hearings. Watch.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham, that you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are.
Joining me right now is the man himself, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, sits on the Senate Judiciary, Armed Services, and Budget Committees. Senator, it is good to have you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And let me say thank you for your leadership and your courage this past week. What prompted you?
Outrage at a Star Chamber process. I've known Brett for 20 years. He's gone through 6 FBI background investigations. He's appointed more women to be his law clerk than any circuit judge in the country. He's highly respected, not one hint of impropriety. And they tried to destroy his life. I voted for Sotomayor and Kagan. This was about delaying the hearing, keeping the seat open past the midterms so it could be filled in 2020. There are no rules when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh. I honored Obama's election. He got to pick Sotomayor and Kagan. They do not want to honor President Trump's ability to pick a fine man. When Durbin told him, turn to Don McGahn if you're truly innocent, and asked for this to continue, that was a bridge too far. And I think I spoke in a way that a lot of Republicans, at least, could relate to. And I'm a bipartisan guy. I will continue to be. But when it comes to judicial nominees nominated by our side, I'm going to make sure they're treated fairly, and he was not. And
he was not. You said what a lot of people were thinking. What is your thought now that they are delaying for another week with an FBI investigation?
Here's what I would like your viewers to know. That Jeff Flake has been a friend of mine for a very long time. Susan Collins, Murkowski, Lisa Murkowski are all fine senators. They want a supplemental FBI background investigation. The committee talked to the people named by Dr. Ford at being at the party. Dr. Ford can't tell us when it happened or where it happened. Sometimes in the summer of 1982, she believes. So the committee talked to Leland Kaiser, a friend of Dr. Ford. And Ms. Kaiser has told us that she doesn't refute what Dr. Ford said, but she was not at a party. She doesn't know Brett Kavanaugh. So as to that aspect of the allegation by Dr. Ford, she is confused. Mark Judge said didn't happen. PJ said don't know what you're talking about. So the FBI is going to interview these people. They're going to ask Mark Judge, have you ever seen Brett Kavanaugh drug women and participate in gang rapes, the Avenatti claim, which Mark Judge was supposed to be an accomplice to.
Unbelievable.
We're going to speak to Ms. Ramirez.
And Senator, you were going through some of the things that the FBI will certainly be doing in terms of their questioning. We've heard from many of those people, and many of them have said, I wasn't at the party and I don't have any recollection of Brett Kavanaugh in that behavior.
Right. They've told that to the committee, but the senators that I just named would like the FBI to kind of double check. Ms. Ramirez refuses to talk to the committee. Democrats haven't helped us at all on the committee to find out what happened. Her allegations would not be printed by the New York Times for a very good reason. We're going to vote this coming week. The FBI background supplemental investigation should be done early part of this week, Monday or Tuesday. Then we'll have a final passage vote later in the week. I'm highly confident he will be confirmed. He deserves to be confirmed. He's a good man. He's the best choice President Trump could have made, in my view. I did recommend him to President Trump. But I want to tell you what's going to happen next, if you'll allow.
Please.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask Senator Grassley to get to the bottom of how this hearing process was so hijacked, the unethical aspects of it, the slash and burn aspects of it, the effort to delay it, to abuse, I think, Dr. Ford's trust. So let me tell you, we're going to start with the following concept. Dr. Ford said at the hearing that she did not know that the committee was willing to come to California and take her testimony in a private setting. Here's what she said. I just appreciate that you did offer that. I wasn't clear on what the offer was. If you're going to come out to see me, and I would have happily hosted you and been happy to speak with you out there. It wasn't clear to me that was the case. How could that not be clear to her? Let me tell you what this committee did. On September the 19th, the staff told Grassley letter to Katz, her attorney. My staff would still welcome the opportunity to speak with Dr. Ford at a time and place convenient to her. We also offered the committee investigators available to meet with Dr. Ford anywhere, anytime, if she would prefer to provide her testimony outside of a hearing setting. September 22nd, Judiciary staff email to the lawyers Katz and Bromwich. Grassley tweets, come to us or we'll come to you. We wrote a letter, he did, to the Democrats. I'm even willing to have my staff travel to Dr. Ford in California, anywhere else, to obtain her testimony. Letter from Grassley to Feinstein.
Right.
Dr. Ford's attorney replies, September the 20th. Dr. Ford has asked me to let you know that she appreciates the various options you have suggested. Katz email back to Judiciary staff. So I'm going to find out why she did not know her options. I'm going to find out who in Feinstein's staff recommended Katz to be Dr. Ford's lawyer. It's improper for senators to recommend lawyers to constituents. I'm going to ask, if you thought she needed a lawyer as a staff member, why didn't you come forward and tell the committee about the allegation? I'm going to try to find out who betrayed Dr. Ford's trust to remain anonymous. There are three groups that had the letter, a Democratic congresswoman and her staff, Feinstein and her staff, and I don't believe Feinstein did this, and Dr. Ford's lawyers. No friend sent this out to the press. No friend would do this to her. The person who sent this anonymous, destroyed her trust, betrayed her request to be anonymous, had a political agenda. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. So I want to find out who on the Democratic side leaked an anonymous letter provided to the committee by Senator Gardner with no postmark on it, no return address, claiming that Judge Kavanaugh did something wrong in 1998 in Colorado. Somebody on the Democratic side leaked that to NBC News, and they ran it as a story. I cannot imagine if a Democratic nominee had been before this committee that NBC would run an anonymous letter provided by Republicans.
So have laws...
the bottom line is...
Yeah, go ahead. The bottom line?
The bottom line is we're going to look into a betrayal of trust of Dr. Ford, a betrayal of the committee rules. We're going to look to see if we can prove what I think is obvious. This was not about protecting Dr. Ford. It was about delaying the hearing. It was about not sharing with the committee relevant, credible information. It was about running out the clock, never confronting him in real time to put us in the box we're in.
Well, people
That's what
also want to know if laws were broken in terms of revealing your personal information. Your colleague, Senator Rand Paul, is now calling for an investigation to determine and punish who published the personal information of you and two other Republican senators during the Senate Judiciary Committee meeting on Friday. Tell me what happened as a result of your personal information being published, sir.
This is the second time I've had to change my phone number. The first time was when President Trump did this and during the campaign. And I'm not worried about me changing my phone number. I am worried about my address being sent out. But here's what I would say.
Who did it? Who do you think did it?
I don't know. I'd like to know. Why do I want to know? Not so much about me. I want to deter an abuse of the process, because if this is going to be the new norm, God help us all. Who would want to come before this committee if we're going to do this? And the people who did it, I hope they don't get away with it. I want to find the person, if I can, who destroyed Dr. Ford's trust, outed her when she wanted to be anonymous, who sent a document given to the committee to an outlet that was an anonymous letter, unverified. But I also want to know what's going to happen to the fifth accuser. Senator Whitehouse got an accusation from a man in Rhode Island who said that a female friend of his was taken on a boat by Mark Judge, Brett Kavanaugh, and poorly treated. She told him about it. He went down to the dock basically and beat both of them up. I support an FBI look into that. Right. White House did the right thing.
Senator,
the guy recanted. I want him to be held accountable.